Hello and welcome to our channel. This is Archie the Cockatiel and I am Archie's mom, Stacy. Today we are... You want to tell him? Yeah? Okay, so today we're going to be talking about what I feed Archie as far as his regular daily diet and the other things that he gets to eat, like chop and treats and things. Now I'm going to do a video on what my other birds eat as well, but I wanted to kind of split things up just because there's a lot of different things that I feed, and if I did it all together it would be a very long video. So we're going to split it up and Archie's going to get his own video about what he eats. Are you ready to tell him what you eat? Yeah? Are you ready? So firstly, for Archie's daily food, he gets Higgins in tune. Now he gets both the veggie size and the cockatiel size. So he used to eat the Supreme fruit blend is what they had weaned him on before I got him. They also gave him some Rowdy Bush as well. The thing that I don't like about Supreme fruit blend is it does have a lot of artificial colors in it with added sugar, and then as far as the other ingredients, it has a lot of fruit in it, but it really doesn't have a lot of vegetables in it, and of course vegetables are healthier for birds than fruit. So Higgins has some great ingredients, including the fact that their food does not have artificial dyes. So it's naturally colored with vegetables and spices and herbs. So I really like that about it. Supreme fruit blend is very commercialized and very popular, but I really think that people should use Higgins in tune instead of Supreme fruit blend personally, because of the ingredients and the fact it's not artificially colored. So looking at some of the ingredients, so it has like your common like rice and ground wheat in it, but it also has dried egg product, flaxseed, apples, blueberries, celery, beets, parsley, lettuce, spinach, watercress, and then it has like your omegas and lots of vitamins in it and things. It does technically still have some flavoring to it as well, but Archie really likes the flavor, and this actually smells really good. It reminds me of like fruit cereal almost, but better. It also has antioxidants with DHA omegas, fatty acids, vitamin C and E, and it has probiotics in it to promote the delivery of active beneficial bacteria to the intestinal tract in order to support digestive health. So I really like this. He gets a few tablespoons of the smaller veggie size and then a few tablespoons of the cockatiel size. I started out giving him the cockatiel size. It's a little bit too big. He can still eat it, but it's easier for him to eat the veggie size, but he still does like the big pieces, so I kind of mix it up that way in texture as far as the smaller pieces and the bigger pieces. The nice thing about the bigger pieces, if you're gonna wean your bird off of Supreme fruit blend, is they still have like those fun shapes. Like Supreme has like the regular circles, but they also have the banana pieces. And this has some shapes to it as well, like pineapple shapes and stuff. So it made it a lot easier to wean him from the Supreme fruit blend onto the Higgins in tune. So I'll have a link below for where I purchase it from. I buy it online. You really can't find this in many stores. Even the specialty bird store that I like to go to doesn't carry this in store, so I have to order it online, but it's totally worth it. My African Grey and Kaique are actually also on these pellets as well. So when it comes to pellets, there's a lot of great pellets out there. There's not really one that's like the be-all must-have pellet. So it's a matter of finding what your bird likes, but what you actually like as well. Not in the sense that you're going to be eating the pellet, but in the sense that you approve of the ingredients that are inside of it. So for those of you who use Supreme Fruit Blend, I'm not saying you're wrong for feeding it. If that's what your bird likes, then that's what your bird likes. They do have some good ingredients in them. There's just some things I feel that Higgins Intune is better for, and it still has that fun fruit flavor as well as the pretty colors that attract birds to it. Some other pellets that you can try for your parrot or cockatiel are going to be things like Harrison's pellets. Rowdy Bush is very good. That comes strongly recommended from veterinarians as well. There's also Kitech pellets are great. And then Tops pellets are great as well. And I mentioned Tops pellets. I really like the Marlene McCohen Tops blend. Archie, this was originally going to be his daily food that he gets in his pellet bowl in his cage, but I decided to vary his diet more. So his Higgins pellets are his daily food that he has in his bowl at all times, and then he gets the Tops pellets in his bowl on his tree stand. Now, the Marlene blend has the pellets. It does also have some seed in it. The seed tends to settle to the bottom, so you want to make sure you shake it up if you're going to give your bird this mix. While it does have a limited amount of seed, it still has a pretty good amount, so I like to dilute it by adding some of just the regular Tops pellets. This is actually the smallest size pellet that they make as well. It's smaller than what comes in the Marlene's blend, so it kind of, like I said, mixes things up, so there's smaller and bigger pieces in there, and then it dilutes it so there's not quite as much seed in there. So I highly recommend this as well. And this can also be a great pellet if you're looking to get your bird on a different daily pellet. This is a really great pellet. It has great ingredients in it. It has no preservatives in it, no artificial colors or sugar or byproducts. It has alfalfa leaf, millet, barley, rice, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, but it make sure that it tells you on there that the following ingredients comprise no more than 5% of total volume. So there's not like a ton of seed in these pellets. There's also quinoa, pumpkin, buckwheat, dandelion leaf powder, carrot powder, spinach leaf powder, kelp, rose hips powder, rose hips crushed, orange peel powder, lemon peel powder. It also has cayenne pepper, red chili peppers, nettle leaf, and cinnamon. And a lot of the ingredients in this are organic as well. So this is a great pellet if you're looking for something for your bird. Alright, so every day I add a little something to Archie's daily food in his bowl. So one of the things that he gets is the Herbs Mega Bigs. Now, I have talked about this on my Products That I Love video. It has a lot of herbs and flowers in it. It has chamomile, peppermint leaf, cilantro. It has yarrow root, marshmallow root, not actual marshmallows, the marshmallow root. It also has bee pollen in it, dandelion root, thistle, elderberry, and a lot of just other great things. So he gets just a sprinkle of this sometimes in his food. He really enjoys it. The other thing that I sometimes put in his food, egg food. This is actually by Higgins, the same brand that his pellets are by. So this has some good ingredients to it. He just gets it on occasion because protein is obviously good for birds. So just something that he gets here and there. And then I've talked before about how seed isn't great for birds. It shouldn't make up a major part of their diet. The major part of their diet should be fresh vegetables, some fruit, and then their daily pellets. So the other thing that Archie sometimes gets sprinkled in his food is this cockatiel mix that I get from the bird store I go to. It has a lot of dried fruits and vegetables in it, some coconut, there's some seeds in it. Obviously when I give him this I shake it up more in the bag, the seeds have kind of settled to the bottom. But there's fun things like Cheerios in there as well, and just some great ingredients. So he gets a sprinkle of this in his food some days, just because seed isn't completely bad for them. It is fatty, that's very true. So seed is something that you can give your bird on occasion. Archie also gets sunflower seeds as like a training treat, and his millet spray as well. To learn like tricks and things, those are great things to use. I don't recommend having millet spray in your bird's cage at all times. Archie gets it here and there. I cut the millet spray into chunks that are about like that long or so and put it in his millet toy in his cage, but I also use it a lot for training. If you watch Live Laugh Birds channel, you'll see that she uses millet spray for when she trains her birds to do tricks and things as well. So something else that Archie gets in his cage probably about every other day is going to be the Christine's Chop Shop Small Bird Daily Maintenance Blend. This has a lot of great ingredients in it. I did an unboxing for this. So this has dehydrated chopped star anise, buckwheat, proso, flaxseed, almonds, hemp seeds, sesame seeds, millet, finely diced dried fruit mix, shredded coconut, dried greens, crumbled Ceylon cinnamon sticks, unsweetened ancient grain cereals, puffed millet, rice and wheat grains, and Christine's Chop Shop Birdie brittle crumbles. So he gets this about every other day. He gets just like a little less than a handful. He gets this in his chop block that I got from Hoot and Holler Bird Toys. It's a flat perch with a very small bowl in it. So he just gets a handful of this and he gets to go and munch on that. So he gets it like every other day in his bowl. Sometimes he'll go a couple of days without it just because it does have some seed in it as well. Alright, so another occasional treat that Archie gets are his eggy cakes. So there's two different flavors. There's like a fruit flavor. And then he also gets some of the original flavor as well. And he really likes this. You just break it off into squares, kind of like a chocolate bar. And it has pellets in it too, so it's not just seed that's in there. The fruit blend obviously has fruit in it. Archie likes vegetables, but sometimes it's a little tough to get him to eat fruit, so it is kind of a good way to sneak it to him. He gets a little square. It's pretty small what he gets, so it's not like he's getting a ton of seed in a chunk of this. He just gets a little square. It's kind of good for like foraging for him when he's out on his coffee table play area that I have set up for him. He's really excited because he can see it, so he really enjoys that. So these are pretty readily available as far as being able to get them at like PetSmart. They also have a popcorn version as well, and they're not very expensive. I want to say at PetSmart they run like $7 or $8. At the bird store I got them from, they were only $5, so it was a better deal to get them there. You can also get this online as well, but these are definitely a great product, and Archie really likes these. When he sees me open up the bag to get him some, he gets very excited. So something else that you could add to your bird's daily pellet if you have a female cockatiel, especially if your female cockatiel has laid eggs before, is this Christine Shop's Extra Boost. It's got some great ingredients in it, especially if your bird has laid eggs in the past or goes through seasons of doing it. You can sprinkle this on their food. Archie obviously doesn't lay eggs because he's a male, but I thought this was important to show you if you're watching this and have a female cockatiel. This is great to add to their food. It has a calcium boost with red raspberry leaf to help reproductive muscles from the strain of laying the egg, and then the calcium is going to help form the eggshell. So that way it's a hard shell the way it should be and not a soft one that breaks within their abdomen, and that way they don't get egg bound. That's a common problem with female birds, is they get egg bound, and unfortunately they die because they can't finish laying the egg and they strain too much. So this is great to add to a female bird's diet. So on a daily basis, in the mornings, my routine consists of giving the birds all of their pellets and replacing their water. A lot of people give their bird their vegetable chop and different fresh fruits and veggies first thing in the morning, but I'm a college student along with working a full-time job, so mornings aren't really a good time for me to try to do anything like that, especially because I'm really not a morning person. I hate morning. So with my birds, we do our fresh fruits, vegetables, and things like that at supper time. And that way when I'm eating dinner, we can all eat together, because once again, as I've mentioned in other videos, eating is a flock activity. So it's also a good way to get your bird to try new things, because you're all eating together, so they want to be a part of that. So that's when we do our chop and different dinners that we do. So as far as the chop that I do, I like to use zucchini, I like to use carrots, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. I also like to put corn in there sometimes. Sometimes I do kebabs instead of your traditional looking chop that people think of when they hear chop. I'll insert a picture of that here. It kind of makes the food like a toy. It's once again a good way to get them to try something new. But moving back to the chop part, I do like to put kale and spinach in there. You can also put collard greens and things like that in there as well. You want to make sure you give your bird a good amount of leafy greens. Iceberg lettuce doesn't have any real nutrients to it, so I don't recommend iceberg lettuce. Even romaine lettuce is still, it's better than iceberg lettuce, but it still doesn't have as many vitamins and minerals as your spinach and kale are going to have. So something else that I like to add to their chop is going to be noodles, like red lentil noodles. These I just get from the grocery store. I don't have to like special order these or anything. Sometimes you can find these in just the noodle section at the grocery store. Sometimes they're in the health food section with like the gluten-free stuff. So definitely check that out at your grocery store. So I like to put these in their chop. For Archie, I have to cut up the noodles pretty small for him to be able to eat them, but sometimes I'll leave bigger chunks in there just because he has fun kind of flinging it around, which my dogs also appreciate it because they get to clean up the floor afterwards. So these are fun things that I can put in their chop as well. There's a lot of vitamins and health benefits to these, so definitely recommend them. Sometimes I also put quinoa in their chop as well. That's a great ingredient. It's very healthy to put in there for them as well. Now when I make my noodles and quinoa, I used to make it on the stove top, but I just got this new thing from Pampered Chef. It's a pasta cooker that you can use in the microwave that's really easy to use. It has a built-in strainer. I really like using that. I don't cook a lot and my kitchen is pretty small, so it's just really convenient to be able to use that. I also have microwave veggie steamers that I like to use that I've gotten from either Weight Watchers, or I just got a new one from Pampered Chef, because that flat one that I mentioned in my Products I Love video, it can't really fit a lot in there if you're trying to make chop with consisting of a lot of vegetables. There's just not as much room, so I had to use it like several times. I had to do rounds to get all the vegetables cooked. So this new one from Pampered Chef is a lot bigger, and that way I can put as many vegetables in there as will fit, which I never fill up the whole thing, but it's a lot more convenient and a lot bigger than that tray that I've been using in the past, so I'm really excited that I got that to use. So, but some nights I don't have as much time to put something like that together, although some people, when they make chop, they make large batches and freeze it to serve to their birds. So that is something that you can do. So some nights I don't give them chop, I give them different things. Something else that I get from Christine's Chop Shop is called the Veggie Birdie bread. I really like this product. It was a good way to start getting my birds to eat vegetables. There's different flavors that you can get. There's like nuts and spice, veggie, and some other flavors as well. I'll have a link for that in the description box as well. I'll have a link for pretty much everything in the description box, so check that out. But yeah, I really like this Birdie bread. It comes with everything you need to make it, even the coconut oil that you use to oil the pan for it. So definitely better than using like regular cooking oil intended for humans. So the coconut oil is great that it comes with. It has flax seeds and things like that in it that are good for them as well. So definitely check this out if you're looking for something new for your bird. You can refrigerate it or freeze it because you're obviously not going to give them a whole loaf of bread, so it does last a while. And you can just microwave it before you give it to your birds. If it's been in the fridge or the freezer, just make sure you let it cool down before you serve it to them, obviously. So something else that my birds like, especially Archie, step up, are these. They're once again Higgins. It's a good brand that we like, obviously. I've mentioned them multiple times. Are these Higgins Worldly Cuisines. They're really easy to make, and you just make them in the microwave after you add some water to them, so they're very easy. I like them if I have a busy night and don't really have time to prepare anything spectacular, so that way they still get something good. When I go to serve this, they get really excited because when they see the bag, they know what they're about to get. So they come in a lot of different flavors. You can get them on Amazon, but they're a bit pricey, so you kind of have to look around and see if maybe your pet store, bird store carries them. That's where I get them from, is the bird store. But they have some great ingredients in them. For instance, the Spice Market is all of my birds' favorite. This one has pasta, white millet, oats, almonds, carrots, cashews, dates, peanuts, raisins, sunflower seeds, sweet potatoes, cinnamon, anise seeds, ginger, and kelp. What you doing? And then this is the Creamy Zen, and this one has rice, pearled barley, oats, bananas, corn, green split peas, cracked wheat, dates, raisins, dehydrated soy milk, cinnamon, ginger, and lemon peel. So this is another one that they like, but there's even more flavors than these two, so definitely check those out if you're looking for a hot meal to serve your birds. They really like this, and they don't like to wait to let it cool, but they have to wait for it to cool because it's very hot. But they get very anxious when they see that that's what I'm working with in the kitchen. They get really excited. Yeah? You like that? Is this what you want for dinner tonight? Yeah? Oh, I think it's kissy break time. So something else that I would recommend for you to check out is this cookbook. It's called Parrots Fine Cuisine Cookbook and Nutritional Guide. I got this from Barnes & Noble. You can also get it on Amazon though. This actually has an article by Marlene McCohen in it. If you like Marlene McCohen like I do, that was one of the draws to it for me. So, but it has a lot of great information, like what the vitamin benefits are for each green or vegetable or fruit that you're giving your bird. So if you're trying to aim to do something specific, like make sure they get more calcium or like vitamin A, things like that, that way you know exactly what fruit or vegetable is going to do that for you. It also has great information on how to convert your bird to pellets, how to get them to try new fruits and vegetables, and it has some great recipes in it as well. And there's like some different cute things in here as well. So like there's like some parcels, there's also omelets and things, different foraging treats like using an artichoke and stuffing it with good things. There's also soup recipes in here that you can give your bird, and just lots of other great things that you can make your bird. It's not very expensive, it's like $20-something, so definitely check this out if you are looking to improve your bird's diet or looking to get your first bird, because there's a wealth of knowledge in here. Alright, now I want to add that if you're looking to switch your bird from one pellet to another, or from a seed diet to a pellet diet, it is kind of a slow transition, so it's not something that they're going to take to right away. You need to have patience. Is very important, because you can't just switch them from one thing to another. So you need to gradually change it. So if you're starting a new pellet, you want to put about 3/4 of their current diet that they're getting, their current pellet or seed mix, and put about 1/4 of the new thing that you're trying to get them on, and let that be your ratio for several days, maybe even a week, just so that they can see that in there. Maybe they'll even try it, and that way they can recognize it as being part of their food. Then after maybe a week or so, you can try splitting it into half and half and see how that goes. Keep an eye on them, see if they're eating it or not. And then if you notice that they're eating more of it, you'll know that you can move on to having 3/4 of the new food and only 1/4 of the old. And then after about another week of that, you can remove the old food completely and just have them on the new food. Once again, takes a lot of patience, and that isn't going to work for every bird. So that's what I recommend. That's how I got my birds to switch their pellets. So while it worked for me, it's not necessarily going to work for everyone. Alright, thanks for joining us on our channel today. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more of our videos. Until then, we will see you next time.